I feel like a lot of changes are happening here. And so this deck is very vibrant and it helps me pick up your energy a little bit better. So I tried the traditional Rider-Waite deck and it just didn't. I wasn't feeling it. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so the first five cards, once again, is pertains to your love, relationships, and romantic life. And the second five cards deal more with other areas, but also spiritual advice that's coming in for you. I feel like for some of you, we have a water sign, very strong water energy coming through here. I have, another Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio that you could be involved with. And this is it could be their sun, moon, or rising. And I feel like there was a time when one person felt like they were the only one pulling the weight of the relationships. They were the only one putting in a lot of effort to move things in a specific direction. The two of you might also have different goals, different ideals when it comes to relationships, when it comes to family planning, when it comes to parenting, or even when it comes to life direction. One person might want to, live here and the other person might want to live somewhere else. So like I'm seeing this rural urban divide. One person could be very family oriented and the other person is a little bit more of a lone wolf. So I feel almost like the lifestyle, the life choices, as well as wants and needs out of life and out of relationships between you and your partner might be very contradictory. And nevertheless, there is a lot of, I feel, a lot of chemistry, a lot of love, a lot of passion, also just a lot of like the energy is very soft. And I feel like, despite these differences, you kind of accept each other for who you are. You accept the other person, they vice versa accepts you. And I also feel like there might have been things getting in the way of this relationship too. This is the week where you're looking at things from a different vantage point. And rather than, being the one to pull the weight of the relationship, I definitely feel there's going to be a lot of clarity as well as a lot of like expressing what you want and need from your relationship partner so that the relationship partner can pull their weight. Or if they're the one that feels that they did, pull the weight for the entire relationship, then I feel they're going to express their wants and needs so that both people can be on board and work together towards something greater, something that is a little bit more, like a consensus between the two of you. I also feel with this Eight of Swords here, this is coming out of a place of darkness, okay? Recuperation. If you haven't been intimate or if you haven't been communicating well with the partner, I feel like this is a phase where you are coming out of this state of isolation or this state of self-doubt. Do they or do they not love me? Do they or do they not want to be with me? So for those who are coupled or even singles, this is kind of like letting go of your fears and your trepidation, being kept in the dark, coming out of it into the light because somebody is making an effort to come see you. They're also making an effort to reach out and express their emotions for you. And I feel like for many of you, you sense a lot of subtleties in the interaction between you and another person. And you feel like they feel a certain way about you. But a lot of the times you need that validation from them, like something concrete that they either like you or they don't like you. You wanted something concrete. And this is the week where you're going to have some type of a visible proof that they're pushing forward to make an effort to communicate with you, to solidify plans with you, or to do something a little bit more concrete to move the relationship in the right direction. And I also have as well this awareness and insight that you're going to be getting, in particular with the Hermit, to allow you some kind of snippet, some kind of understanding into their nature, why they took so long and why they haven't been, fully committed to you. Towards the end, we have here the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is going back allowing the other person to kind of take over rather than controlling the situation, relinquishing control, trusting in our higher self, trusting our intuition, and trusting as well that things that are meant to be are going to naturally come together so that we don't have to, exert so much effort and strength to push things along. I honestly feel for those who are single and you have somebody in mind, you're putting in a lot of the work, you're bearing the weight of that relationship. Could be financial, could be, you're the one making plans. You're the ones that put in a lot of effort to see them, to be with them, to, put yourself out there. Because when you feel things deeply, you want to express it. You're like the emotionally expressive type of a sign. I feel like Cancers and Scorpios, not so much they feel things, but they kind of sidestep these issues. But for you, you want to be heard. You want your emotions to surface. And I feel like this is the week where you kind of relinquish control and let the other person put in the effort, let the other person take over, let the other person kind of, it's almost like matching your timeline to the other person and then let the situation unfold naturally. Okay. I have really, really strong water sign. Like I feel a very watery, nurturing type of energy here. And I also feel like you're dealing with somebody that needs a lot of alone time. They need their space. With this hermit here, somebody that could be a little bit older, or they just need their space. They have a lot of things that they want to take care of in a timely manner. So they might not be as responsive or receptive or be too they might seem like they're distant or a little bit aloof or closed off, but I feel like it's circumstances that's forcing it to be this way. It's not by their choice. They just need a lot more space than you do. Okay. In other areas of your life, I do have a big energy of children here. We have the Page of Cups as well as the Page of Wands, okay, the Page of Rods. So water sign, fire sign. So this is a very young energy. It has a lot to do with children. And we also have here, this is what I call classically the mother card, the Queen of Rods, the Queen of Wands. This is a week where you kind of redefine and, think about picking your battles. And for those who are parents in particular, I feel like, the ways in which we nurture, the ways in which we take care of, and the ways in which we encourage the little ones to live to their full potential or to learn to be more independent or to learn to take care of themselves has a lot more to do with giving them encouragement, but also allowing them that space and that room to do things on their own. So if you have a child that is like this, they constantly look at you for validation. And if you're, the helicopter mom or dad, and you're constantly watching what they're doing and then also like constantly correcting what they're doing, this is the month for you to kind of hold back on that and let them, through trial and error, learn to do things on their own. Because what's coming in as well is the Page of Wands. This is somebody who's very independent. They try to, figure things out on their own, and they are very I want to say exploratory, and they do like to have that independence so that they can figure out what works for them. So whatever method works for you might not be the method that works for them. So they have to kind of explore, learn through trial and error, and then, arrive at a conclusion or arrive at their own solution to problems. So I feel like loving detachment from your kids, so that they can grow into their own person, that's going to be very crucial for this week. For those who, have like nieces and nephews, grandchildren, or even your own children, I feel like, this idea of loving detachment, approaching a situation from a different vantage point, and then also detaching that energy. Detachment doesn't always mean, indifference. It basically means I respect you enough as a person to not interfere with your journey of self-discovery. So I'm going to relinquish control and let you figure things out on your own. So across the board, both of these spreads deal with letting go of control issues, letting go of, controlling for a specific outcome, wanting the other person to be just like us, but ultimately, when we're dealing with another person, we can't really infringe on our free will, nor do we want them to be a splitting mirror image of us, because that would be really boring if we were, dealing with people who are exactly like us. It doesn't allow room for you to grow either. So I feel like, you guys are kind of letting these control issues just kind of go, and then trust that the other person will self-manage, and then will, move things along once you relinquish control. Leaving somebody to their own devices and having trust that they are going to do the right thing, I feel like that's a major theme here. In your work environment, and I'm looking in particular at these three cards here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Queen of Rods. The Knight of Pentacles is the way in which you're making money, the revenue stream, the income that's coming into the picture for you. If it's the Knight energy, I feel like there is a lot of potential, but the trickle of money or the supply of money is going to be a little bit slow in coming. I also feel with the Death card, this is like new ways or transitioning into new business propositions or arrangement, transitioning into new ways of earning money, and then not being as mobile as you're used to. So I see a lot of travel and restrictions and movement here, that you're not going to, like, so for example, if you travel a lot for work to close deals and things like that, there's going to be a little bit of a slowdown this week. And then vice versa. I feel like for those of you who are thinking about new ways of making money, new job opportunities as well, there's a lot of trepidation here. Fear of change, fearing as if you might not have the skills and the capabilities, fearing as if you need to, stay put to learn additional skills before you can jump into this new venture. So I see you contemplating about, some type of career changes and some type of reorganization or rearranging the way that you work, the work that you do, new projects that are coming in. And there's like fear and trepidation from your end about not having what it takes to do the work necessary. Okay. It's going to be, I don't feel like, there aren't a lot of major arcana cards. Well, let's see, we have four. We have four. But I feel like the major arcana cards deal more with accepting change, relinquishing control, and trusting that the other person will do the right thing. So that's coming into the picture. So I feel like, this is not really the week for you to exert your energy. It's more for you to kind of sit back and watch things unfold, okay? Not an overall busy week, but I do feel like, rest and recuperation for many of you, especially if you've been working overtime, if you've been traveling a lot too, okay? Take it easy.